Well, good afternoon. Martin Tyner here, and we're going to go release a Swainson's hawk back to the wild. And this is a young one that was orphaned. So come on in, and we'll see what we can do with this little guy. These are a real pretty little hawk. They obviously as wild as can be. They nest here in Utah, and they go to Argentina for the winter. Hi, baby. Yeah, how you doing? Such a cutie. And it's the 17th of August, and the Swainson's hawks will leave very, very soon, heading for Argentina. And so you've got to get out there with the rest of the Swainsons. You do. You got to start gathering up with everybody else and heading south, because that's your job. Pretty things. A lot of people mistake them for a red-tailed hawk because they do look really quite similar, though they are just a little bit smaller. And they're primarily a rodent eater, so they eat a lot of mice and gophers and voles and just any kind of small rodents they can catch. Oh, you're good and fat. You're ready to go. Well, come on, we'll get her put in the box and get her on her way. Well, it's an absolutely beautiful day here in southern Utah. We've got our summer monsoon conditions. Now, please understand, monsoon in southern Utah is very different than monsoon anywhere else. Monsoon in southern Utah, if we get a 1/4 of an inch of rain in a week, that's a monsoon. And so it's a little bit different here. And so we're praying that all these beautiful clouds and the wind is going to get us a little rain, because we certainly need it very badly. I got a little Swainson hawk, and this is how wild he's going to be. He's going to be very wild. He wants out. Hi, baby. I got you. Yes, I do. I've got you, and you want to get me, huh? There's my boy. There's my pretty kid. We got you. Come on out, sweetie. There's my baby. Yeah, there's my baby. Okay. Pretty little Swainson's hawk, ready to go back to the wild. This one was orphaned. And they've got kind of a neat story with the Swainson's hawk. Like I said, they actually nest here in Utah. And they'll go to Argentina for the winter. And what actually happens is these guys are really obnoxious to their parents. And so as these guys start to fly, about a month ago, they were starting to fly, and these guys are belligerent, and they're mean and nasty to their parents, and they chase their parents around, they steal food from the parents, and the parents, by the time we get to mid-August, the parents are sick of it. And the parents migrate and leave the young Swainson's hawks. It's a sink or swim. They either survive or they don't. And so the parents leave, the parents head for Argentina, and then these guys migrate out a couple of weeks later. Now they're actually hardwired in their brain to migrate to Argentina. I have no idea how they do that, but this guy will end up going the same place his parents do, with absolutely no instruction whatsoever. And so it's just absolutely amazing. And we're going to get him over here and let him go. Now this is an old pioneer farm called Rush Lake Ranch, and this was a settlement. It was an old stagecoach stop. This is where they would trade off horses, and so as they're coming down from Salt Lake, they would stop in Delta and Deseret and Milford and Minersville, and then stop here to get fresh horses for the additional about 16, 17 miles back to Cedar City. And if you have an interest, I just noticed there's a for sale sign here, and so they're selling the old farm. And so if anybody wants a piece of Utah history, I would hope that they would restore the old farm. That this really has dilapidated terribly.
Before you turn it loose, let me show the farm. Since you spoke about it.
Are you ready, kiddo? Wait for all the cars to go by so there won't be any cars coming by when you take off. Ready, set, go! The problem that we have with these guys, and we do with all birds of prey, is their parents only feed them for so long, and then it's a sink or swim.
Yeah.
And he was too young, he wasn't feeding himself, and so he was brought to us, and we've had him for almost a month now. And so now he's strong and healthy again. We just give him a second chance. We have to get him out here quickly because they migrate, and they start migrating the end of August, 1st of September, and they go to Argentina. And so we have to get him out for the migration.
Wow, it's a long way.
Yeah, it is. Hey, little Swainson. Hey, pretty little guy. Yeah, we got you. We got you.
Mind if I open the door? Oh, I can't.
No, I can do it.
Close it from the inside.
Okay.
It's okay.
There we go. This is our little male Swainson's hawk. We've had 4 of these in the last few weeks, and this is the last of the 4. The other 3 have been released, and this is this one's turn. I released a female Swainson's hawk just a few days ago. So he is now ready to join everybody else on his migration to Argentina. Let me bring her out and we can talk a little bit about who this is. Okay. She's such a pretty little thing. And you had a good meal. She's eaten most of a pigeon. Okay, this is what we have here. She's very pretty. This is a female Cooper's hawk. And the reason that they're called a Cooper's hawk is because they are notorious for going into pigeon coops and trying to get a free meal. And she has done that. She's in my pigeon coop today. They're on their migration. And so this little gal right here, probably came down from a little north of here, and we've actually banded Cooper's hawks on the Goshute Mountains of northwestern Utah, and they've been retrieved in chilly South America, or actually cleared on into Argentina. And so they're highly migratory. They feed on the flocks of songbirds, and they feed on a lot of sparrows and starlings and those kinds of things. But when you've got a nice little coop with a whole bunch of pigeons in it, well, that's a pretty enticing meal. Now this is a young one. This one would have hatched late June, early July. So this is this year's baby. And she's just very, very pretty. She doesn't look like she's hurt, and that's what I worry about. You know, when they get into some of these pigeon coops, the wires and stuff can damage their feathers and injure them, but I'm not seeing anything. Now they have, just so you know, you can tell these guys, they have got short rounded wings. So that's as big as the wings get. And they've got a very, very long, beautiful tail. Because they're a forest hawk, and they need that long tail to fly in and out and around trees. They've got beautiful long legs. And show you how pretty those legs are. Really long legs, and those long legs are so they can reach through brush and grab sparrows and starlings, so they have nice long legs. They've got very, very skinny long toes. They don't need as much strength as some of the other hawks that hunt rabbits. They don't need to be nearly as strong. And so these are just absolutely built as a bird hunter. And they hunt small birds. And I'm not seeing anything wrong with her. So we got to her quick enough. That's what we worry about is when they get in these coops, they can hurt themselves on the wire. So we try to get them out as quickly as possible so they don't get injured. Huh, pretty girl? Now, what I frequently will do is we'll take these guys and put them in the car, and we'll drive about 30 miles down the road because they're migratory, and they'll just continue to head south. But we've got a lot of wind and a storm coming through, and so the truth of the matter is, the storm's going to push her along. She's already got a big crop full of food, so she's no longer a threat to anybody. So we're just going to let her go here, and she'll leave very, very quickly, and hopefully continue south and kill somebody else's pigeons besides mine. Beautiful little yellow eyes. Now, as an adult, those eyes will go orange. And so as a juvenile, they're yellow. So, are you ready to go back, sweetie? And I'm sorry, it's stressful. So we're just going to give her a little toss and let her go. In fact, we're going to try to let her go up in my tree. So you ready? Come on. There you go. There's my pretty girl. Past me before I try to grab you, little one. There we go. I got you. I got you, sweetie. Such a pretty little bird. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. Little Cooper's hawk. Eating sparrows in somebody's front yard, has a crop full of food, plus it had a sparrow in its feet and was hiding. Doesn't appear to have any injuries. It just appears to have had a pretty big breakfast, and they put it in a box that had water in it. That's what all of this is all about. Got his feathers all soaking wet, and but he'll dry off and he'll fly away just fine. So you ready, little guy?
They're right over there.
Yep, right over there. Ready, Sue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.